Hello and welcome to Tea Time with Lorna. I'm very excited today. Today I have two wonderful women with me. They're joining me for tea. I'm very excited. How did I meet these women? Well, I was in Greenwich. I was doing some work in Greenwich with this other woman. She's a little crazy, but that's okay. And she mentioned a project that was happening in Greenwich that she knew about. Of course, I'm talking about Greenwich, Connecticut, not Greenwich, England. And that's why I was excited to meet these two women. I feel like I don't want to say the name of their project yet because I really want them to introduce it to you. So, I am Lorna, Tea Time with Lorna, and the two ladies with me, both their names start with L, so this is going to be a great little tea chat. I have Lucy and Laura, and they are with the Underwear Project.
Hi,
welcome
Lorna.
to Tea Time with Lorna.
Hi,
I would hug you both, but you're too far away from me. So, we are going to start by first discussing what teas we're having. I know that you and I, both being from England, we are going to have our favourite
PG tips.
PG tips. Like me, you take it with milk.
Yes.
And so we're going to have that. This, of course, I mentioned before on another blog that these are the triangle tea bags. I'm very excited because they're my favorite. Tell me, what are you going to have today?
I am having lemon and ginger.
Okay, excellent. Why'd you make that choice? Let's pour our tea. Why'd you make that
I
choice?
made this choice, well, I am not English. I am actually Mexican.
Okay.
And tea is not something we do in my country a lot.
Okay,
What we mostly do is herbal teas. So I enjoy herbal teas a lot.
excellent. Well, let's enjoy our tea today and chat. So, ladies, obviously we've got two people from England. We have a lady from Mexico. How do you like living in this country? What do you think about living in America? How do you like about living in America?
I love the space.
Okay.
Everything is much bigger than the UK. I mean, it's very quaint. I love going back home. But now I find when I go back that the roads are so tiny, the cars are tiny. And where I live here in Coscob, I'm lucky. I've got a lot of space. It's beautiful. There are lots of trees and greenery. We're right by the coast. And there's a lot to offer. You've got New York City just a short train ride away.
And what about you? What do you like about living in America?
I like the organization in this country, the respect for others. It's like Lucy said, I go back to Mexico and I don't think I could live back there. I'm going to put an example with the driving. Here everybody's so courteous when you're driving here in Greenwich and they let you go first. And in my country it's me first. So it's nice and quiet living around here.
So let's talk about this underwear project that I've been hearing about for weeks now. I mean, everybody, well, when I say everybody, I mean, we women, we wear underwear. Men, I assume they also wear underwear. How much proof do we really have? I'm not checking them all. But anyway, tell me about the underwear project. Because first of all, why'd you call it the underwear project? Go ahead.
Well, our mission is to provide new underwear for men, women and children.
That's good.
So we had a lot of different names in mind, didn't we? We ran some focus groups and got people to say what would resonate most with them if we were to start this project. And they all loved the term undies because it's kind of a fun word to use for your underwear. And it just came out, the Undies Project.
But what is the Undies Project? Maybe I should have started with that. Go ahead. Tell me, what is the Undies Project?
The Undies Project is a non-profit and our mission is to collect new underwear for men, women and children in need. We help the homeless, we help people that are struggling economically, and we do take gently used bras, but basically it has to be new for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
Underwear has to be new.
Yeah, well, I like what I do, speaking for myself. So, I mean, but what was the driving force that made you even decide to come up with this? Like, I wouldn't just say, I think I'm going to start an underwear project, like...
No, we didn't just kind of wait. Well, actually, it was like a light bulb moment because I volunteer at a local organisation called Neighbour to Neighbour, and they are a food pantry and a clothing distribution centre. So I work on the clothing side, and we sort all the donations that come in, which are usually second-hand donations, and we put them out in a room for the clients to come and shop for them, for their families. So one day I was buying a bra for myself, and it literally was a light bulb, and I connected the cost of the bra I was buying with the work I do at Neighbour to Neighbour, and I suddenly thought, how do people on a low income afford the expense of a bra? And I don't buy expensive bras, but I was about to drop $40 on a bra. Well, if you're on a low income, that's really expensive. So I told Laura, and we came up with the idea for the Undies project.
Now, what about, so you take donations of gently used bras.
Yeah.
What about, and I just thought of this, what about bras for women that are pregnant? And, right after because I know for myself, I had to go shopping literally days after giving birth, because the bras that I was wearing before did not fit.
Right.
So we're talking about actual maternity bras. Are you those? I assume you would take gently used, right? Because
we don't often get donations, funnily enough, of maternity bras. I think only once or twice.
Yeah, very few maternity
We'd
bras.
love to have new. I know sometimes in Neighbour to Neighbour we get donations direct to them, and quite often the maternity bras, by the time you've used them, but over that period of time, you can't really.
you can't use
they're not gently used anymore.
Not if they've been worn by mother and child. In some cases.
Exactly.
No, I completely understand. So, how long have you been doing this? I mean, when did you actually start?
We started the Undies project in 2015.
November 2015,
Okay.
we started helping Neighbour to Neighbour.
Yes. That's right.
And we worked with them for a full year under their nonprofit umbrella, because we weren't a nonprofit back then. And we kind of were testing the waters to see if this was going to be something that the community would want to help with. So the first year, all we did, what we do is we hold drives during the year. In February, we hold our first drive called Mardi Gras.
Oh, Mardi Gras.
Exactly.
Well, that's very clever. Who came up with that?
Not us. We heard that from another organization that also
Does something similar?
Does something similar
Okay.
to us.
It was there.
And then that we do that in February. Then around May, June, we ask churches and synagogues if they can hold drives within their congregation, asking them to donate a pack of underwear.
Okay.
We call that Undie Sundays.
And that's called Undies Sundays.
Or Mitzvah May.
I like the Undies Sundays. It's a mouthful, but I like it.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can talk to some churches near where I live, and we would love to help
That would
with
be
your
awesome.
with your Undies Sundays. Assuming I can say the words properly. Especially with Mother's Day coming up in May.
Yes.
Do you find that you get a big influx of donations or new undies in May or any of those special occasions?
Only if we, contact the churches and they do it on Mother's Day. Then they probably get a boost in donations. We haven't run a separate Mother's Day drive yet, but that's something that certainly we're always looking to add different drives, because the need is year round. It's not just once a year. And I think Laura was going to go on to mention that the way we donate out the underwear is through other non-profit organisations that help those in need. So everything we collect, we're actually helping 14 organisations.
Oh, wow.
So in Lower Fairfield County and in Westchester. So we'll literally take the donations to them. They have clients who are either homeless or living on the street or who are low income.
And that's who they then give it out to.
That's right.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely will see what I can do.
Thank you. Laura.
Because I'm part of the committee at my church, and we do volunteer stuff as well. So I will bring that to our thing and see if maybe we can do an Undies Sunday thing. Assuming that I can say it properly. But I think I just like the word. I think I just like saying Undies Sunday.
It's fun. It's a fun.
Excellent. So what else do you do when you're not busy running this great organization. What else do you do, ladies? Obviously, you drink tea,
We
right?
drink tea and a lot, believe me. Believe me.
Sounds like
We
me.
work out of our homes.
Okay.
And when we started, we thought we were going to work 1 day a week, but it's turned into a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
But not paid, though. Not
Unpaid,
paid.
yeah, it's not paid. So that's what we do. We enjoy, actually, we've done a little bit traveling together with our husbands. Now our husbands are good friends.
Oh, that's great. That's
Which,
worked out.
exactly, it's worked out. We became empty nesters almost at the same time,
Okay.
and that's why we started the project. And
We not only travel, but we go hiking together. We got to Vermont together.
we walk our doggies together.
So how is it being empty nesters? I mean, when I say who'd you get rid of, I say that with love,
Yes, we did get rid of
excitement, and anticipation. So who were you blessed? This is not a hint. It's just a question.
Well, Laura became an empty nester first.
Oh.
I have two children.
Two boys?
No, a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Eddie is almost 26 next month,
Oh.
and Valerie is 21.
Oh, so
And yes, and they.
there's hope. There's hope. is what
Yes.
you're
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's
And then
hope.
the first time they come back, you send them off to college, and you cry and cry, and then you kind of start getting your life, your new schedule, you're enjoying your quiet time, and then they come home and they expect everything to be exactly the way it was when they went. And you go, no, mommy has a new schedule.
saying. A life now.
Yes.
When are you leaving?
Yeah.
When are you going
What
back?
time are you leaving? I just want to know because I have plans.
Well, you
What
get
about you?
you get used to not cooking so many meals,
Yes,
not
not
doing
doing
so much
laundry.
laundry, and then, as Laura said, they come home and they expect the dinner to be on the table at a certain time, and as Laura said, go, no, now we've got our own lives.
Yeah. So how many kids do you have?
I have two as well.
And what do
So,
you have?
A girl and a boy.
Oh, the same.
So my daughter graduated last year and she's now living down in Richmond, Virginia. So she's actually not coming home very often.
Oh,
But my-
that's a little sad.
It is,
Just a
yes,
little
yeah. We miss her a lot, and I think she misses us as well.
Okay.
Probably she misses because she now has to pay her own rent and her own bills
I know,
and
right?
do her own cooking. But, and then my son is a junior in college, so he will be back over the summer. So that
would be
will be
interesting.
interesting.
Well, I wish you well as empty nesters. This is an
Thank you.
exciting time. This is where
It
you get
is,
to do
yes.
things that you, like you said, you just came up with this great project, and it sounds wonderful. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
I think there's a great need. Unfortunately, we have too many homeless shelters with too many homeless people,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just not enough space in them. Obviously, we all know it's worse in the winter.
Yes.
But I'm so grateful, I'm sure others are, that you are doing this project. Are you able to get any of these things up into the Bridgeport area or New Haven or Waterbury or Danbury, the Undies and stuff? Are you able to do that?
The furthest we've gone is Bridgeport.
Okay.
We got in touch with
The homeless outreach team.
the homeless outreach team, and we brought them actually twice. We brought some bras and undies
I
for
think
them, and they
three
distribute
times maybe.
three.
I think
They
three.
distribute them to their agencies.
Well, I will definitely give you a name and a contact person for another organisation that I know the director of, and they're located in Bridgeport.
Great.
And I'm sure they would be happy to get a donation of this
I know.
type, because we were able to help them out with some donations. I think last weekend we donated and collected. We had an event for women, and we were able to, because we were having an event for women, we asked people to donate feminine projects and stuff like that, feminine products.
Yes.
So that was
Yeah.
great. So I'm sure that, when we finish filming, I'll give you the name of the person and you
That
can
would be
contact them
great.
when you have
That would be great.
stuff you want to donate up into Bridgeport. And I say this because, Bridgeport is such a large city, as is Waterbury, as is Hartford, as is Danbury, and they
huge
have the highest
Yeah.
numbers of homeless people. And that's why I was curious to know, have you been able to go that far? I know, there's a need in Greenwich and Coscob and such, because unfortunately there's a need everywhere.
There is, and we're really just at the tip of the iceberg with Bridgeport because we know it is a big area, so we'd love to get that contact link
Yes.
from you. But we should mention this wonderful school in Bridgeport, the Bridge
Yes.
Academy,
Yes.
who did a collection for us last year, and they're actually doing another collection this year. This group of girls went to their peers in their school and they asked them to look through their backpacks and their bags for loose change, and they collected over $800
Oh,
that they
excellent.
then went and bought underwear to donate to the Undies project that we could donate out again. And I mean, they were just amazing, weren't they?
And they
They're
invited
so
us.
enthusiastic
Yeah.
about it, and they're really the only school so far that has raised that much money for us. Or I should say they're the ones that have raised the most.
Yes, and they
Um,
were the first to do it.
and I think because they're living in Bridgeport, they see what the need is. They totally get that there's this.
I think this
huge
is something that I don't know how you would do it, but you could make some connections with female or girl organizations.
need.
Like, I don't know, Girl Scouts. Do they have Girl Scouts or Brownies?
Yes,
I
yeah.
forget.
Scouts.
You know, it's different in England. So I'm like, I never remember what things are called. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They're Girl Scouts here.
Girls, yeah.
But for me, I can't remember. Is it Girl
What do you
Scouts?
call them in England?
Because we have Girls Guide.
Yes, girl guys and brownies.
And brownies, and the
Girl
brownies.
Scouts.
So I always find myself second guessing my words. Like, wait, is it that what it's called here? Because I was in the brownies. Were you in the brownies?
I was,
I was in the brownies. I was in the brownies, and I was in the girls' guide until I'll tell you a funny story. The girls' guide, we had to wear this yellow thing. Do you remember there was a yellow top that you had to wear, right?
Like a little jacket
Yes,
thing.
you had to wear this yellow jacket thing, and I had a white shirt, and I put my yellow on top of the white shirt, which was a mistake, and it stained my white shirt, which was my school uniform.
Oh no.
Well, that was, I never did that again. That's what my mother was not pleased. Yeah, it literally, the colour ran, because it also rained, the colour ran into my white shirt.
No.
That was not good.
And the choices for me were to wear the yellow shirt to school the next day, get detention. I mean, there were so many choices. Get detention, or I don't know, I was horrified. I was literally petrified. Like, I didn't even know what to do. So that was my experience. But anyway, so
Brownies.
so brownies and stuff like that. And we didn't sell cookies, so
No,
Yeah, we
I
didn't.
don't remember doing not the same way
Not
they
fun.
fundraise here.
Yeah, no. no.
That's something that really struck us when we moved to the States, is really how philanthropic people are, and that they spend their time fundraising, or they spend their time helping people, they donate their money. I mean,
Yeah.
that I think was a big eye-opener when I moved
Yeah,
here.
I was impressed also.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that I'm drinking more tea. First of all, before I gotta say this one thing. You made this tea. Yes, it was the PG tips. But what else did you put in this?
I put 2 bags of PG Tips and 1 Earl Grey, and I don't know, it just gives it that, I don't know, a little edge to it. My mother always did it, and I love it. But I only do it when I make a pot of tea.
Well, I've got to say, I liked it.
Oh, good. Because
I was a
you
little-
weren't
I was
sure
a
at
little
first.
apprehensive, 'cause I was
What
like,
are you
what?
giving me?
I don't know. So I'm always like, I will smile.
I
But,
think it's more refreshing with
I
the
know,
Earl
I
Grey
can't-
in it.
you know, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something. There's something. I am actually going to be making my own tea soon.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, what are you going to call it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I really
To
am.
brand it. How exciting.
Yes, and so I have all these tea classes and stuff that I'm going to, and I will have my own tea brand. And it's so funny. I'm like, I've got the design already, but I don't have the tea because I think I like too many types of tea. So I think that
I'm going to
may
narrow it down.
I think that may be a problem.
You have to let us have some when,
Of course.
when you decide.
Yeah, I've got the packaging, but I have no. I just
You
too
have
much.
no tea yet.
No, because I just like too many things. I like too many things. A friend of mine in England actually sent me a sample of a tea, which I'll be honest, I don't remember the name right now, but the tea is only sold in England.
Oh.
And I wish I could remember the name right now, I don't. But she sent it to me and I loved it. And I'm actually negotiating with them to see if I can sell it here. And if I end up selling that, I'll be
Great.
the first distributor of that tea in this country. So that's kind of exciting.
That's very cool.
But I really don't, I'm not keeping it a secret. I really don't remember the name. I really don't. It's not like, oh, I can't tell you. I really don't remember the name. And it's funny because I was recording one day for another show, another tea time show, and the camera person, so I'd not tried that tea yet. What my plan was to record myself tasting the tea for the first time to see if I wanted to do this deal. And I had the teas laid out and we're recording. And I said, help yourself to some tea. And she makes some tea and she tries this tea before I even did. And I was like, oh, what have you done? And she's like, I'm so... It was the funniest thing ever. Because she just picked any random tea. And I literally grabbed the teacup from her and said, I need to taste that. So that I can say I had the first cup. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
She was apologizing. I was like, just let me sip it.
She stole your thunder.
No, it was so funny. I felt bad because I really was a little aggressive. Like, what are you doing? You said have tea. Yeah. Not that one. Anyway. So I have really enjoyed getting to know you both and drinking tea with you. How are we doing? Okay. Tell me a little bit, where did you get this tea set from? Because I meant to ask you that as well.
Oh, this is a Wedgwood set, and it was our wedding service. So yes, it is British.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
You did not tell. Don't tell me that because I break things. Now that you told me
don't
exactly.
touch that
No,
copy.
I'm not touching it. Why did you tell me this?
Yeah, let's...
You should have
So
kept it.
this has come all the way from England.
Yes, it has.
Well, actually, it's travelled around the world with us because we've moved. This is our fourth country we've lived in.
Well, where else have you lived?
It survived all the different moves.
Where else have you lived?
Well, when we left the UK originally, we went to Saudi.
Okay.
And we were there for 2 years.
Okay, that sounds like...
And this is all with my husband's job. They moved us around. He works for a French bank. But after Saudi, we then went to South Africa, which we loved. Fantastic place. And then we went to Sweden. And then we came to the States, and they were all S countries.
Oh, that's so funny.
Saudi, South Africa, Sweden, and the States. So.
That's so funny.
Do you do that a lot in your life?
Haven't-
No, L and L and L.
I know.
Does that happen a lot to you?
It must do.
That is pretty funny.
weird.
It's so
weird.
funny because I love to travel, but I've never been to any of those places. And I've been to a lot of countries,
Right.
but I haven't been to any of those.
Yeah.
The Saudis I definitely want to go to. I have a cousin that lives... no, he lives in the United Emirates. I'm sorry.
Right.
And I'm dying to go there. I just haven't added
Oh,
it, but
you
it'll be on
should,
my list.
yes,
It's on my
yeah.
list. It's definitely
Yeah.
on my list to go. Well,
Was it-
ladies, I have enjoyed having tea with you. Please finish up.
Yeah.
Let us not waste
Thank
good,
you.
good. What is it? Don't waste good tea on old friends. I don't know what the phrase. So sorry. Have you not heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Me
No.
either.
In other words, you give your good tea to the new friends because you're trying to impress them.
Oh, right.
Don't waste good tea
Tea on old friends. Because those friends will accept anything. I don't mean it in a bad way, but you know what I mean?
No,
Like they love you, so they'll accept whatever you give
Right.
them. But you want to impress the new people, so you give them the good tea. I'm so sorry.
Well, I
That
gave
was
you
not-
I gave you the good china because tea's supposed to taste better out of
Yeah.
China.
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you an interesting story which I just found out, or maybe you know this, that when you put the milk in your tea is all down to money. Did you know this?
No.
Because, I'll tell you why, because teacups were made obviously of porcelain and different things like this. And when if you were poor, let's use the words poor, your cups were very thin, because there was not enough material to make the cups.
Right.
So if you poured hot water in your cups, the cup would break.
Oh.
So therefore, when you were poor, you would put your milk in first. So then you'd put your water in afterwards, so it would not break your cup. So you
Which
could
makes
have.
perfect sense.
So
Yeah.
so the richer you were, and you could pour your water right into your cup, showed how well you were doing, how affluent you
Your
were.
status.
And so people would really work on making sure they could pour their water first and their tea afterwards, because their cup wouldn't break. So you were making a point to your guests that I can afford this, and isn't that a great story?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah, I never
And that's
knew
why
that.
they say the people like, again, I have met the Queen, but we didn't have tea. But that's why they say people like the Queen puts her tea in first, the hot water, because they can afford it, because their cups are good enough. Their cups are not going to break. Isn't that a
Yeah,
great
I always
story?
wonder, because some people put the milk in first, some people put it in afterwards.
But
and
I guarantee that at this point, it's just how your family made it.
Right.
But back in, who knows, 18, 16, whenever, that's really how it started.
It's funny, well, me being Mexican, I don't know much about all these traditions, but when we went to meet with the ladies of the British,
daughters of the
Daughters of the
sorry.
Daughters of the British Empire.
Excuse me.
Yes.
One of the very old ladies, she was sitting down pouring the tea,
Yeah,
and
out of this
she,
beautiful,
beautiful
silver tea.
but funny enough, she said, milk goes first, it makes it taste nice.
Oh.
Now I know.
That's the story. That's the real story. Again, like I said, in this day and age, it's really whatever you grew up with at this point.
Exactly.
You grew up, your mother put it in first, so you
Yeah.
put it in first because that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
There is controversy over which tastes better, milk first or second. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm a milk in first person.
I'm actually a
but-
milk in second.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, you should have told me
It's
before. I poured your
okay.
tea.
It's okay. Like I said, it all comes down to family, how you were raised.
Tradition.
So I thought that was interesting because when I meet someone from England and because I know that story and I watch and I'm like, oh, interesting. You put your milk in first.
so you watch. I'm going to be watching everyone.
No,
what they
I'm
do.
so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so that's the story that I'm happy to share with you today. Well,
you.
ladies, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to have tea with me and chat about your underwear project, life in America, since we're all foreigners here, and just, being empty nesters, living life, and starting this new project. I think it's wonderful. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to connect you with the person that I know in Bridgeport who I'm sure would be happy to receive whatever they can. And I will also be in contact with you to see if my church can help with a Sunday fundy? Sunday fundy, whatever.
Undie Fun Day.
Undie Fun Day.
Whatever.
Now you came up with a new name.
Yes.
Find a
Undie Fun Day.
fundraiser for that.
Undie fundy.
Undie Fun Day. Undie Fun Day. We'll
Yeah.
come up with a fundraiser
It's yours.
for that.
You can have
Thank
that.
you.
It's yours. So, that's all we have time for on Tea Time with Lorna. Like I said, I had a great afternoon chatting with these two lovely ladies whose name also starts with L. That means they're lucky, they're likable. You'll like them too. I also enjoyed for the first time mixing my PG tips with Earl Grey. I never would have thought of doing that, and so I've learned something new. And maybe my other guests will be willing to try it. We'll see. But for sure, I've had a great afternoon, learned a lot about a great need in our society, which is to help the homeless if we can. This is just one project. There are millions out there, and I know that there are millions of people who are willing to help. So if anyone watching is willing to help, feel free to contact me through the station or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will put a link or the link to these ladies, or I will put something where if you're interested in donating too, you can. That's all I have time for. Oh, hopefully that guest that I've been talking about that has eluded me for weeks will be on. She is a professional dancer, and she is supposed to be teaching me some dance moves. Oh my goodness, I feel like I say this every week. So I'm waiting for her to come and join me at Tea Time with Lorna. Bye.
Bye.